Hi, it's Rob. I'd like to talk to you about Google Tag Manager today, and so I'm recording a very quick video that talks about the benefits of it and why you should be using it on your website. So obviously there's lots of different platforms that websites can run on, WordPress, Shopify, WooCommerce, all sorts of things. They all work a bit differently and raw code. Maybe you've got developers who've developed something for you, and whenever you want to change, you have to ask the developers to do it. What Google Tag Manager is a central place where you can control all the bits of code, say all the external things that run on your website, like Google Analytics, Facebook pixels, Twitter, whatever, maybe some CRM code that runs on your site, and it's all managed in one central place. So you don't have to make changes to the website each time you need to add a little bit of code to it. Because that can be, well, if you don't do it regularly, you can forget how to do it, or it can be a real logjam if you have to submit a ticket to get your developers to do it. And it makes it very easy if you want to outsource that, because when it's all done in Google Tag Manager, it's a standard way of doing things, and you just got to find someone who knows Google Tag Manager rather than maybe the intricate way that your website is set up. It works very quickly, so it doesn't necessarily speed up your website, but quite often when you install different bits of code on your website, that can make it slow down, because it fires synchronously, so it waits for each bit of code to load before it goes off and loads the website. Google Tag Manager fires asynchronously, so it's as optimized as possible. And there's, in its simplest way, it's just a bunch of containers with little bits of code that you tell that sit on your website and run. And there's triggers that fire these bits of code that conditionally can show them or not show them. So if you want something running on your order page or your thank you page or your checkout page, or when visitors first arrive and it has a different bit of code, it's really, really easy to set that up, and it's very powerful. So that's enough talking. I'm going to go across to my screen and show you how to use it. Okay, so I've got a couple of examples of how to use Tag Manager to show you. The first one is on a WordPress site, and it's just a new WordPress site that's been developed, and it's replacing another one. So there was already an existing Tag Manager for it, but it's quite easy to install, and I'll show you how. So you get to Tag Manager. I just usually type it into Google Tag Manager, sign in. This one, so these are all the sites that I've got Tag Manager containers for. So I will go into Senate is the one that I want. And this just shows you briefly the tags that I've got. So I've linked it to a Facebook pixel. I'm also using it to track Google Ads conversions, and I've got Google Analytics on there. And it's fairly straightforward the way that it works. The way that you actually test whether this is working, the way that you can see what tags are on a site, is you use this extension from Google, a Chrome extension, which is it's called Google Tag Assistant. So you can just search for that, Google Tag Assistant. And this only works on the Chrome browser, and then because I've got it installed, it says remove, but you'll be able to see install. And the way that works is I'm going to open an incognito window, and it's always worth doing this for testing, because it means that there's no cookies or cache from a website you're looking at. So I'm going to look at the website. And then when I look in, just Scroll out of that. When I look in here, it says there's no tags on this site, and there isn't because it's it's a new site. However, I want to install this tag on it because I want all these good things on there. So the way you do that, you click on Admin, and you click on Install Tag Manager, and it gives you this bit of code that's got to be pasted into a couple of areas on the website. And because this is a WordPress site, I'm just going to use a plugin to let me do that. And it's called Insert Footers and Headers. There we go. And this just makes it really, really easy to add a bit of code to your site. I'm going to activate that. Then I'm going to go into Settings, Insert Headers and Footers. And so here's the text that I could put on the header. So I'll just go back to Google Tag Manager. I'll copy the bit that says paste it in the head. So I'll paste this in the head. And it says paste this in the body. So I'll paste this into the body. I'll save that. Just double check it, yep. And then now I want to check if that has actually been installed on the site. So I'll go back in here and I'm going to use my little tag assistant to check that. So I'm going to go, and now we get a much different thing showing here. We see that we got Google Analytics and Google Tag Manager. It's also put the pixel, the Facebook pixels. This is another Facebook pixel helper. So it's taken, no, not that one. It's taken the tag analysis. Let's put a couple of Facebook pixels and Google Analytics on there. And it was as simple as that. Okay, so the next example of Tag Manager I'm going to show you, I'm going to create a new one and install it on a Shopify site. So it's for a brand new Shopify site. So I just simply click on Create, give it a name. That's the actual name of the site. I'm actually going to say it's in the United States because that's where the owners of this site want to target people. Which I'm just going to call it Fashion Labs Fitness, and then I'm going to give this one the name of the actual site. And you can use it to track several different things, but I'm just going to use it on the web. Haven't seen it with this before. There's obviously some terms and conditions I've got to read carefully and accept. This is new. It's new within the last few months. The first thing it does is gives me the code that needs to be installed. Now, installing this on Shopify is a really good example of why you'd want to use Tag Manager, and I'll show you why in a second. So I think I've got Shopify open here. Yeah, here it is. So this is just, well, it's just an e-commerce store basically, but it's brand new. So there's no orders or anything. It's just got some products and whatever in there. So got to remember how to do this. Online store themes. Don't worry about this unless you haven't got a Shopify site, but it actually is a good example of why you'd want to do this. So you're editing the actual code of the website here. Now, I've been a developer for more years than I care to remember, and this just scares me doing this. So I think it's just this one that I need to do. And somewhere in here, I need to put this code. So I'm going to put it near the top. I'm not going to bother formatting it for now. And so with Google Tag Manager, if you've got to install lots of different things, you'll be having to paste code in here all the time. And that would be awful because you stand to break other things quite easily. So this is why, on sites like this especially, this is why I would use this. So this is going near the body. I'm going to put that there. So that is that code pasted. Before I do that, let's just go to, so I use my my tag assistant, so I'll just refresh this page and there is nothing on there. So now I'll go back. Crikey, too many windows open. Go back to here. So if I save this, it's either going to break the site or it's going to have installed Tag Manager code on there. Let's have a look. Let's refresh this. Sometimes you need to open a new Cognito page. Yeah, and here we go. We've got one Tag Manager code on here. Now, just to show you how easy it is to do this, I'm now just going to install Google Analytics as well. I don't have Google Analytics set up for this, so I'm going to create a new Google Analytics property as well. So okay, that, because what I don't have at the moment is any tags. So if I click on Analytics, that takes me to Analytics. Actually, this is a good example. So this is another Shopify site, and Shopify is good once you get it set up. This one's doing 20 grand a day in revenue, and it can handle quite a lot of users at any time. But what I'm going to do is, crikey, it's the sort of thing that if you don't do every day, you forget about. So to create a new Google Analytics account, click on this admin tab down the bottom, create account. Fashion loves fitness. This has changed since the last time I did it as well. Create a property in here. I'm going to call it Fashion Loves Fitness.com. United States. And we'll make it US dollar. Now what's really important now is, because Google's trying to push everyone to use apps and things like that, this is just a website, and so I just want to use old style Universal Analytics. It works really well. So just want a UA code to go in here. Yeah, so it's trying to create my Google Analytics 4 and a Universal Analytics. I just want a Universal Analytics property. Click next. We're a shopping site. Small. Okay, I'm going to tick all of these that we'll be using Analytics for, which is everything other than apps, basically. And then what it does is it gives me, this is the code now, that if I was installing this on the website, I'd have to copy this code and I'd have to go into here and go in and sort of shove it somewhere in here, and I hope it didn't break anything. I'm just going to go back so it doesn't save that little change. Edit code. Yeah, it's okay. It's still got that Google Tag Manager code. This is why I don't like doing that. It's much easier. So what we're interested in is this tracking ID here, and all we have to do is copy that, take that into Google Tag Manager, paste it, and save it. Then I'm going to publish it. because if we go back here, we can see we've got pending change, workspace changes 1. I want to submit that, which will publish it. Added analytics. It's always a good idea to write what you've actually done, so you can go back and roll back the changes or see what was done when. So we'll look at this workspace. So now I want to see if that's actually worked. So I'm going to go to click refresh. You can see it's got Google Analytics and Google Tag Manager. So we've installed code onto the website without writing any code. So that was it. That's the introduction to Google Tag Manager. I showed how to link it using WordPress to a website and how to create a new Tag Manager account, create a new Google Analytics account, and how to install Google Analytics on the site. So hopefully that was useful to you. Watch this space for more advanced videos, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.